morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. It is Good Tues Newsday, the episode where we cover all the good and positive things going out there, whether it be new discoveries, inspirations, or just people being good to each other. This is the episode for you if you want to get that positive spin on the news. Welcome to Before Coffee, the father and daughter comprehensive news of Planet Earth podcast, where we look up our stories 10 to 15 minutes before we started. We've just got caffeine, we just woke up, and we're learning how to read live on stream. So, let's get into reading those headlines. Today on Good Tues Newsday, wood scraps turned into bulletproof, fire-resistant superwood that's stronger than steel. And Israel added to Netherlands' threat assessment of state actors list, which includes Iran and Russia.
Good morning! We have giant sand octopus makes a splash on English beach, and returning wolves to Yellowstone has boosted the Aspen population.
Temporary tattoo could prevent spiking by detecting roofie drugs in drinks within seconds. And the new Triassic reptiles, an enormous crest unknown to science that upends feather evolution theories.
And good news! Van Gogh was not fantasizing when he painted mountain landscapes with the two holes.
Cat Video Fest. How clips of cutie kitties spawned $1 million movie franchise in our culture news.
And it's National Chicken Wing Day. So that's great. That's great.
Chicken wing,
I don't know what to
chicken
say
wing.
about National Chicken Wing. Yeah, don't eat any other part of the chicken, just the wings. On July 29th, 2025 on Before Coffee.
Is that only a song for kids in my generation? You never heard that song? Chicken wing,
July?
something. I can't remember
Maybe.
how it goes.
I haven't heard it.
I need to look up the lyrics now.
Don't know.
Reminds me of a song.
Don't know. Today's food item. Well, we have two, which is lasagna, which I probably went 15 years between lasagnas, and I think I had somewhere to have it in, I want to say Switzerland or Frankfurt or someplace like that.
Did we have a lasagna when we were traveling? I don't remember.
I remember taking a picture of it and putting it on the internet.
Oh, I think it was in Geneva.
lasagna.
I think that's where you had a lasagna, because it was, I remember, yeah.
Lasagna in Geneva. Geneva lasagna. It was a real nice restaurant.
Yeah, unfortunately, we did not go to Italy. Maybe next time we can do a Mediterranean adventure.
Now,
and then
75 pounds in Italy.
And then you'll gain all the weight, yeah. Yeah, there we go. Amlin's put it. Chicken wing, hot dog and bologna, chicken and macaroni, chilling with my homies.
There you go.
You never heard that?
No,
I guess you're a bit too old for that one. I think it's just a childhood playground rhyme or whatever. Yeah. There you go. Educating you today. Let's roll our wheel.
Okay.
For our mixed metaphor.
Mixing the metaphors. Okay.
Yes, we're going to be talking about bulletproof wood chips. So even you who can't afford that Kevlar vest can do this instead. I'm sure it includes science, which you can't afford, but you know. This is from Andy Corbally on the Good News Network. New ways to molecularly tamper with wood has led to bulletproof, fire-resistant, lightweight material that could replace steel, concrete, and carbon fiber. Though to be fair, it's probably very close to carbon fiber because wood is mostly carbon. Appropriately dubbed Superwood, the application seems to be limited to imagination. It may hold up to high-rise just as sure as it might better tennis rackets. In 2018, the Wall Street Journal reports a pioneering materials engineer found a way to take wood scraps that were no longer usable and treat them with heat and chemicals to alter their molecular makeup. The boards could then be compressed to the point where the pressure collapses the channels between the ligand and that serve as a tree's circulatory system. The process could take a standard board and render it 1/4 the thickness whilst retaining the increased strength from the treatment process. So basically we shrink the blood vessels of a tree that they don't have blood vessels anymore. It's like more compact. Sold now by Invent Wood, a firm that amassed $50 million in startup money from a mixture of Department of Energy grants and private financing. Chief Executive Alex Lau believes it could replace steel I-beams in houses or even the exterior of a laptop computer, all depending on what machines are available to work the Superwood. During a fire, the wood doesn't sag like steel does at comparable temperatures, nor does it truly burn. The outside carbonizes into an airtight layer before the interior layers of the wood feel the heat. I guess that's similar to how kind of asbestos works, right? The reason there's so much asbestos in houses is it can't catch on fire. That's why there was so much of it everywhere. Yeah. This wood can catch on fire, but it just kind of snuffs it out.
In the form of a sliver.
Yeah.
Asbestos only comes in the form of a sliver, so it's dangerous because you can inhale it into your lungs like little darts.
Christopher Mims reports on Wall Street Journal, says that in his hands the Superwood felt like an otherworldly object due to its combination of lightness and incredible strength and resistance to lateral force. So, I don't even know what that feels like. I don't know. It must feel weird. What I think of is like a really dense. You get this foam that you use for gardening, and it looks really heavy, but when you touch it, it's not very heavy at all. So it's kind of confusing because it looks like a brick, but it's very light. GNN has reported
it's like decorative brick.
Yeah, it's like the foam brick used for gardening. You put like flowers into it and stuff. Whenever I see it, it looks harder than it is. GNN, or Good News Network, has reported before on alternative preparations of wood before, mostly on cross-laminated timber, or CLT, also known as mass timber. CLT is made by gluing exceptionally thin boards of wood together before heat pressing them, resulting in properties similar to superwood. CLT has been used to build the hilariously named skyscrapers of Scandinavia, as well as new $2 billion Portland, Oregon airport terminal. The difference maker in Superwood is that lightweight and flexible, in addition to tensile strength and fire resistance similar to CLT. Today, Inventwood is bringing Superwood to market with a 90,000 square foot manufacturing facility. Its initial offerings will be home sidings, which require minimal certifications, but will hopefully be available in many more products in the not too distant future. And you gotta start small first before you say, hey guys, this is the best Superwood you've ever seen. It's like, for now, we're just gonna use it on our sidings. We're not gonna build an entire building out of Superwood. But that is what they did with CLT, which it probably took a while for them to create these ply scrapers, so to say. I didn't know CLT was a new thing. But, I mean, we used it earlier when we were building some stuff in the house. But maybe building an entire building out of it was the new venture they were trying out. Got a metaphor for Superwood?
Yeah, it's like, you know what they say about people that have thin skin, right? They can't really take it.
Yeah.
Insult or any kind of information, they get offended. And they say, wow, that person's skin is so thin, it's like the skin on pudding. Their thin is so skin. So thin is so skin. Their skin is so thin, it's like the skin on the pudding.
Paper thin, that's what they say. It's paper thin. Right?
Paper thin. Yeah. Pudding thin. That's a no-on. There's your metaphor for having thin skin. So there's your thick skin being applied for your trees. So
yeah, your Superwood
metaphor, but
yeah. So now, if you're really unbothered, you just have Superwood skin. Okay, my next story is about.
You have a combination
Israel being added to the Netherlands threat assessment of state actors list, which is including Iran and Russia. This is good news for me because instead of the kind of what I would consider a more relaxed reaction, which is, France saying, yeah, Palestine's a state, and the UK saying, yeah, we'll recognize them. Israel's just straight up saying Israel's a threat. It's an actual threat. Specifically, they're saying it's because of the violence Israel football fans had last year, but I'd like to think it's also because they're bombing everybody they don't agree with. This is by Mena on the New Arab. Israel has joined Russia and Iran on the Netherlands threat assessment of state actors, a watch list that flags national security threats to the European state. The threat assessment of state actors highlights countries that attempt to control public opinion and political decision-making, which is definitely something the Israel government is guilty of. They like to come in and say, hey, you're anti-Semitic. Your whole country is anti-Semitic now because you disagree with us bombing Jordan or whatever. In the Netherlands, via economic pressure, espionage, or military threat. This is the first time Israel has been added to the list published by the National Coordinator for Terrorism and Security, NCTV, and comes after the Israeli government allegedly promoted propaganda after the Maccabi Tel Aviv fans rioted in Amsterdam last year. Typical football fans. Though I guess this is the first time an entire country has been classed as a threat to a country because their football fans got rowdy. Otherwise, it'd be like, watch out for the British. They're a threat to our country because they're football fans. Yeah. Start singing God Save the Queen.
You'll never walk alone.
Yeah. Israel is also attempting to influence political and public opinion abroad, including in the Netherlands. The report read in the subversive influence to alter public perception section. The complaint is related to a document sent directly to journalists by Israeli Minister of Diaspora Affairs and Fight Against Anti-Semitism rather than the Netherlands government. So the government of Israel is sending press junkets to official, probably publicly broadcasting journalists and saying, you must say this about Israel. You are not allowed to say anything against this. Or, I don't know, they threaten them maybe.
If we don't, what? And what you gonna do? I don't know.
I guess they must be threatening them, right?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Withdraw all your... Oh, wait, you don't have any natural resources, so what are you gonna do? I'm just saying.
According to the NCTV, the said documents were threatening the safety of Dutch nationals, as mentioned in the report. In November, Israeli football fans rampaged through the streets of Amsterdam, tearing down Palestinian flags, attacking pro-Palestinian Dutch people, and chanting "Death to Arabs." That's a normal reaction to losing to something that's not even related to football. That's not even related to football. I mean, it would make sense if they were, I don't know, they were fighting against the Moroccan Arabs team, or in Amsterdam, or fighting. I say fighting.
It's really funny when intolerant people want you to be tolerant.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Hey, you can't untolerate us. That's bad. But we can say death to Arabs in the Amsterdam streets. 7 people were hospitalized in the violence and subsequent clashes between Ajax fans, locals, and the Maccabi Tel Aviv supporters. The report also flagged the Israeli and U.S. government's threat against International Criminal Court in The Hague due to a case against Israel over the war on Gaza. And reminder, I'll remind you every time, the U.S. government actually has in their treaty that if the International Criminal Court tries to file anybody from the United States as an international criminal, including a president, they have the right to bomb The Hague. They have a treaty that says that. So, I mean, I don't know if Israel has a similar thing, but the U.S. has that in their freaking written in law. We can bomb The Hague if they try to arrest our president. It's criticized well-known targets of state interference in the Netherlands regarding the attacks on the ICC and slammed Israel after it publicly issued threats towards the court, and the United States has imposed sanctions. The Netherlands has traditionally been one of the strongest supporters of Israel in Europe, but relations soured following the war on Gaza, which has killed at least 60,000 Palestinians, one of the world's worst humanitarian crises, majority of them being women and children, by the way, even though killing any civilians is bad. Killing children is obviously worse because they can't even vote. They didn't even vote for any of this shit. There's been a massive backlash to the war among the Dutch population, while a Hague court last year ordered the Netherlands government to halt the sale of F-35 fighter jets parts to Israel. So there's your part. I know it's not good news, but it's good news for me because somebody is actually going hardline against Israel here in their just terrorism. They are terrorizing the world. They're terrorizing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what they gonna do next? And them in Russia, just being pariah states for everybody to hate. Oh yeah, fuck you. Okay, you've heard that saying. There's a saying in the United States that says, "A stranger is just a friend you haven't met yet." Well, in Netanyahu's world, a stranger is an enemy I haven't bombed yet. So there's your next metaphor. Stranger, the enemy I haven't.
We do not know they're dangerous, so we will bomb them first.
My God, you're not pro Netanyahu. We must get rid of you. Yeah.
You don't agree with every single thing. I don't understand this, right? This argument that you have to agree with what another country is doing. Actually, as another country, you have the right to.
I'm anti.
Yeah.
I live in the United States and I want our economy to fail. Why? Because fascism is running it. That's why. It's like we're definitely not gonna do any better. I already know that. But we're headed down the shithole. We're headed down the freaking the race to the bottom, as I call it. The race to the bottom. We're almost there. We need. But
who gets hit first? The poor people.
Until we get to the bottom.
Yeah, and then you just have oligarchs like in Russia.
Until we get to the bottom, these people are not going to learn until we hit rock bottom. And we haven't got there yet, unfortunately. The economy's still decent enough where people will go, that's Joe Biden's fault, you know? And then a couple of years when we're sitting here going, I got to scrape together enough money to, buy a sandwich. Everybody's going to be going, we got to get rid of this government.
By that point, though, you'll be stuck with it, right?
Again, Trump is not a conservative. Stop pretending he is. Okay.
Let's roll our next segue.
Let's spin the wheel.
For your story about
way off on a tangent.
Trees and other things.
We'll do the octopus one first.
Occupy.
Octopus. It's just one.
Octopuses.
This is from. Did you spin? This is from
Yes,
Positive
I have
Dot
an
News.
accurate metaphor assembly.
Tom Pattinson from Giant Sand Octopus makes a splash on English beach. This is in good news for, I'm not exactly sure why, but we'll see. A fleeting masterpiece that appeared on Cornwall Beach highlights the themes of nature's beauty and fragility. A giant octopus made a surprise appearance on an English beach this week, or at least a sand-drawn version of one did, measuring 100 meters across. The ephemeral artwork appeared on Cornwall's Watergate Bay on Tuesday, capturing the imagination of beachgoers before vanishing under the incoming tide. So it wasn't even a real octopus. The creation was a work of the Sand in Your Eye, a British art collective known for its large-scale sand and land drawings. Armed with rakes and ropes, the team spent hours slapping the intricate octopus on to the shoreline in a process both meticulous and fleeting. Of course, he had the race high tide. Commissioned to coincide with the start of summer program at the Eden Project, the piece highlighted themes of nature's beauty and fragility, ideas central to the group's creative ethos. We are delighted to be making some beach art together, said Jamie Wardley, artistic director of this Sand in Your Eye. Oh boy, just thinking about stuff getting in my eye right now.
It's giving you, it's triggering you, yeah.
I'm definitely not going to the beach for a while. I don't want no sand in my eye. I don't want any salt water in my eye. I want nothing. The Eden Project is inspirational in its positive and immersive outlook on nature and the challenges we face. So much so that it has influenced our work, and we have visited with our family a number of times. The installation offered a timely nod to the wider marine environment, which has been unusually active along the Cornish coast this summer. From humpback whales near Watergate Bay to UK first sighting of a Iberian orca, the Isles of Sicily, Scilly, not the Irish. I was like, Sicily. That's nowhere near.
That's not the UK.
Island of Scilly. I'm like, well, what? It's called Scilly, S-C-I-L-L-Y. Scilly or Silly? I would say Silly, right? It's silly. The Isles of Scilly. Let's call it that. Marine life is drawing growing attention in the region. Scientists suggest that rising ocean temperature, well, that's obvious, driven by rapid climate change, may be playing a role in these shifting patterns. Obvious that that's what's happening, including an increase in local octopus populations. With sustainability and climate consciousness central to their work, Sand in Your Eye regularly produces temporary art installations in sand, ice, and open landscapes to reflect on nature's transience and complexity. This latest work, gone almost as quickly as it arrived, served as both a spectacle and a reminder that even the most striking wonders of nature can be fragile and short-lived, and sometimes beauty is best appreciated in the moment. There's
some wisdom for you.
Yep. And maybe at some point we'll find a video of it. But right now we're going to look for your accurate metaphor about octopi.
Saving the environment is like an octopus. You have to have 8 arms and you have to focus on 8 different things. There you go.
That's right. It's very good. Hold on. We got some applause for that.
Octopi are very versatile in nature, so they have very strong capacity to problem solve. So we need to become more like them.
All right, next
Explore
story.
different path strategies in our own lives. Okay, I'm done. Ranting about octopus.
Yeah, definitely. Save the seas. Yellowstone. Let's go to Yellowstone. This is from livescience.com. Someone named Chris Sims, not the quarterback, if you're a sports fan, not the former quarterback, but maybe it is the former quarterback. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. Return of wolves to Yellowstone has led to a surge in aspen trees. Aspen trees actually grow. They're like one organism, right? You see 50. You think it's 15 trees, and it's actually just one tree. That's how they grow.
Many branches.
Were introduced in 1995, over 60 years after eradication from the national park. 60 years after, Yellowstone's wolves are helping a new generation of young aspen trees to grow tall and join the forest canopy. The first new generation of such trees in Yellowstone's northern range in 80 years. Gray wolves disappeared in the national park by 1930 following extensive habitat loss, human hunting, and government eradication programs. Without these top predators, population of elk grew unfettered at their peak population estimated. Of course, elks will just eat the tops off aspens as they peek out of the snow in the wintertime, right?
Yeah.
They don't have anything to eat. So look, there's aspen tops. They're delicious. And they just wipe them out. At their peak population, estimated 18,000 elk. That's got to be way more elk than ever were in that range.
It's almost like biodiversity exists for a reason. And wolves out there eating elk for a reason. Wow, that's crazy.
And here's your typical idiot. Well, we do issue elk hunting permits, 100 of them a year. Oh boy, you kill 100 elk a year, and you're only wiping out the males.
Yeah.
Which does nothing to the population, right? Nothing. One male can populate the whole valley. You idiots. Anyway. Elk range across the park, chomping on grasses and shrubs, as well as they leave twigs and bark of trees like quaking aspen. This stopped saplings from establishing themselves, and survey in the 1990s found no aspen saplings. No aspens.
Wow.
Imagine that. You just killed all your trees. You had older trees and then nothing underneath. An ecologist at Oregon State University and lead author of the new study told Live Science, but when wolves were reintroduced in 1995, the picture began to change. As wolf numbers rose, the elk population in the park dropped sharply. Imagine that. And it's now down to about 2,000. Yeah, the manageable elk herd that isn't wiping out your vegetation, causing what? Global warming, because all that carbon just gets escaped into the atmosphere. In the new study,
I'm just celebrating that lowered elk population of 2,000. 18,000 to 2,000. Amazing.
Right.
What wolves can do. Humans could even compete.
Right. In a new study published Tuesday in the journal Forest Ecology and Management, Painter and his colleagues surveyed aspen stands, specific areas of the forest where trees grow. The team returned to 3 areas surveyed in 2012 to examine changes to the aspen sapling numbers. Of the 87 aspen stands studied, a third had large number of tall aspen saplings throughout, indicating the trees are healthy and growing. Another third of the stands had patches of tall saplings. We're seeing significant new growth of young aspen, and this is the first time that we found in our plots, Painter said. These are young aspen with a trunk greater than 2 inches or 5 centimeters in diameter at chest height, which have been seen there since the 1940s, he added. It doesn't mean that they're not going to get killed or die from something, but it's a pretty good indication that we're getting some new trees. As they get bigger, they become more resilient. Such trees are old enough to spread themselves, either by sending up new shoots from their roots a fair distance from the main tree or via seed production, he said. That's right. Aspens grow underground. The roots go out and they shoot up somewhere else, and you think it's a different tree. Like I said before, it's the same tree. However, while Yellowstone's quaking and are recovering, they aren't out of the woods just yet. Aha, nice pun. The elk population declined, but bison numbers have increased in some areas in recent years. Well, bison are good for the landscape too. Bison are a lot harder for wolves to take down than Painter, so increasing numbers of bison may be emerging as a new constraint on aspen in some areas. Painter said that the variation in aspen recovery shows that the effects of reintroducing big predator at the top of the food chain rather than the changes in the overall climate, for example. The reemergence of aspen has widespread effects, he told Live Science. Aspens are a key species for biodiversity. The canopy is more open than it is with conifers, and you get filtering light that creates a habitat that supports a lot of diversity of plants. This means a boost of berry-producing shrubs, insects and birds, and also species like beavers, because the trees are a preferred food and building material for the semi-aquatic rodents, along with the willows and cottonwoods that grow near water in the region. All right, there's your story on reintroducing wolves.
And just like how humans are lone wolves, right? They're always out there by themselves, hunting for themselves or for sport. But a wolf pack is a wolf pack, smooth running machine. And that's what we have to do, right?
A team.
Humans have to be like a wolf pack. Work together to save the environment. Humans, yet again.
Yep.
Not be on ourselves and be individually responsible for it.
I bet you ancient humans learned everything from watching animals. Now we just ignore animals. And they're just food.
We're better for them than them.
They're just food.
We have brains. They don't have brains.
What the hell? They're stupid. Animals, yeah. Again, we've fallen for the profit motive as being legitimately a moral way to go, and the profit motive has never been the moral way to go. But what can I say? Fascists have brainwashed a lot of people into thinking
late-stage capitalism, baby.
Get your bootstraps ready and pull yourself up and become a billionaire. What's wrong with you? You're not a billionaire yet.
You need to kill more elk.
All right, spin a wheel.
Our next segue is... Okay, we need to re-roll. It just rolled mixed metaphor again for you.
Yeah, enough metaphors. Let's have some variety here.
Oh my god. Is it good? Okay, no. It's sarcasm time! Give me a good dip of sarcasm for my story about roofie tattoos. This is on Good News Network from our favorite, probably Andy Corbally, because I think Andy Corbally runs this entire website by himself. A temporary tattoo that detects drugs and drinks could prevent spiking with roofies. There's an illustration here of a yellow sticker on somebody's arm. Then it gets touched by a roofie drug, which is called GHB, or Y-hydroxybutyrate. And then it turns red. And that's how you know. So you dip some of your drink on the tattoo, on the sticker. And my drink is spiked. A new sticker responds with 1 second. Within 1 second to even low concentrations of the drug hydroxybutyrate. pyrate, GHB, according to the scientists. I have no idea how to say that word. I'm not a scientist. I'm going to sneeze, though. Phew! Here we go.
Right.
When drinking in a social setting, downing a drink spiked with drugs, including GHB or rohypnol, known as roofies, is an ever-present danger. The drugs are colorless and tasteless and induce a stupor in the victims that's similar to severe alcohol intoxication, which leaves people vulnerable to being overpowered. But people can protect themselves by testing their drinks with specialized strips or cards that change color if exposed to drugs. However, current tests are often conspicuous or take minutes to report the results. Now, researchers in South Korea, if they had to invent it in South Korea, must have been happy and get horrid rates in South Korea. I wonder why their birth rate's going down. Have developed a rapid-acting test for GHB that's worn on the skin using a tattoo-like sticker. To create the stickers, the researchers placed a mold over top a thin plastic film decorated with tattoo-like designs. The team poured a gel mixture into the mold, containing a chemical receptor that turns red when it detects GHB. They then coated the back of the sticker with a diluted glue solution so it could stick to skin. The researchers tested the sticker's ability to detect small amounts of GHB in a range of drinks, including whiskey, vodka, beer, and coffee. Why not soju? I'm sure they didn't call it soju, but that is the Korean drink of choice. I think soju is technically a rice vodka? Because I'm pretty sure it's made out of rice. Because you have the other drink, which is a rice wine.
Southeast Asia is rice. Yeah, they make a lot of their alcohol out of rice.
I mean, it's a grain, just like barley is. The findings published in the journal ACS Sensors. So if you would like to watch the actual published journal about this, check out ACS Sensors. Showed that within a single second, it detected the drug across a range of concentrations and below a level that would induce serious physiological symptoms. 0.01 micrograms of GHB in 1 milliliter of beverage. That's insane. That's an insane accuracy. A microgram, not even 1 microgram.
No.
1/100th of a 1/10th of a microgram can be discovered with this tattoo. In practice, a wearer could dip a finger into a beverage, touch the drop to the sticker, and see the results almost immediately, said study co-author Dr. Kyung-Chul Ko of the Korea Research Institute of Bioscience and Biotechnology in a media release. And the sticker displays the positive results for up to 30 days after detection, which could be important if it's needed as a form of evidence of tampering. The researchers say that their sticker technology, funded in part from the National Research Foundation of Korea and the Ministry of Food and Drug Safety, is cheap and easy to manufacture, and it could be commercially available quite soon. So keep your eyes out for your roofie tattoo stickers if you go out to bars a lot and you're going out there dealing with strangers who
that's right.
are just losers, honestly. If you have to roofie someone's drink, you're just a loser.
That's right. Here comes your sarcasm. That's right, losers. You're not going to be able to get laid with one drink anymore. It's going to take you 4 or 5. Right. Just like the old days.
Sarcasm alert. Yeah.
Anyway. Like the old days. You're going to get laid. Just be patient. You know?
Okay.
Right.
My next story is about another scientific discovery.
Eventually, the purpose of alcohol, again, is to get, I don't know if anyone's aware of this, is the reason people get alcohol is to get laid. Loosens your inhibitions. You're not afraid to talk to people.
You're not afraid to talk to somebody you never would have talked to. Yeah, for sure. Opens you up.
It's a little different than losing your consciousness, though. It's a little bit different.
No, because there's no consent if you're passed out. You're just taking things without asking, like a toddler. Like a toddler.
Yeah. Right,
in more science news, we have a new discovery in dinosaurs. Specifically, a Triassic era reptile. So I guess not a dinosaur, but whatever. Same thing. This is from Andy Corbley, also on Good News Network. A newly declared species of 247 million-year-old Triassic reptile, its ridiculously large crest, has left scientists scratching their heads. The crest is unlike anything seen before and was neither made out of skin, as in the case with pterosaur crests, nor feathers, as in the case with raptors and eventually birds. It wasn't a kind of hair either. In fact, the animal is now being used as a study case for the origin of protrusions of all kinds. If they've discovered a new kind of protrusion, what else have they overlooked? At the most fundamental level, feathers and hair are complex appendages that have important functions such as forming insulation, aiding sensation, providing displays, and contributing to flight. Both feathers and hair have the origin in a stem lineage of birds and mammals, respectively. However, the genetic toolkit for the development of these appendages is likely to have deeper roots among amniotes, the branch of animals that encompasses reptiles, birds, and mammals. In a paper published on the 28th of July in Nature, Stefan Spikeman and colleagues describe a small animal with a distinctive crest of appendages up to 6 inches tall along its back. Although the reptile is a superficially bird-like skull, it has been assigned a clade of Triassic reptiles called Drepanousauromorpha and named Mirasaura, meaning wondrous reptile. Mirasara, like Mirasaurus, Mirasara. The Triassic period was the good old days of reptilian domination and evolution on the planet, and many reptiles still alive today, such as lizards, crocodilians, and turtles, first appeared during this age on Earth, which predated the dinosaurs. So they're not dinosaurs, but they're dinosaurs. Don't worry about it. There's a reason why it's called Jurassic Park, not Triassic Park, right? Because Jurassic Park is when dinosaurs actually existed. 2 well-preserved skeletons with plumes of Mirasaura, along with 80 specimens with isolated appendages and preserved soft tissues, were examined after arriving in the State Museum of Natural History in Stuttgart, Germany. All fossils are dated to be around 247 million years old, and the first were found in northeastern France in the 1930s, but remained unidentified until further preparation was undertaken in recent years. This allowed the crest and skeletal remains to be associated with each other. The material has been variously described over the years as including parts of a reptile skeleton, a fish fin, an insect wing, or a plant part, or was called unidentifiable, reports Dr. Richard Proom, a paleontologist from the Yale University, in a commentary piece on the discovery. And there's a picture of Spikeman with a Mirasaura fossil showing the little appendage. It's very rare to have soft tissue preserved from so long ago, and it allowed Spikeman et al. To get a closer look at exactly what the appendages were made of when the animal was alive. They contain melanosomes, pigment-producing cells found in skin, hair, and feathers, so the reason why we have a skin color. Melanin. There are more similar to those seen in feathers than in reptile skin or mammalian hair, although they lack the typical branching pattern seen in feathers, so that's the first oddity they discovered. It suggests that such complex appendages already evolved among reptiles before the origin of birds and their closest relatives, which may offer new insights into the origin of feathers and hair. These appendages must have been a striking and unusual feature of animals' appearance. They also must have been awkward to carry around, given that the longest is more than 1/3 of the length of the entire creature, Dr. Proom adds. Considering the function of the appendages seen in the Mirasaura, Spikeman and colleagues rule out roles in flight or camouflage and instead suggest a possible role in visual signaling, perhaps for mating purposes or even to deter predators like spots on a butterfly wing. Oh, that's not a reptile. That's just a plant. Yeah, it looks just like a plant, just a walking plant. But I guess they'll have to do more research into this to really discover what it is, and this new feature that they've has been revealed on reptiles. Probably nothing that we have now, right? They're saying it's never been seen before. Mm-hmm. There's no animals currently alive that have this kind of weird skin-like, feather-like, whatever. I can't think of the word now. Appendage. What was it called again? Oh, crest. A crest. So it And the pictures they have here where they like rendered a picture of it, like somebody drew a picture, is like the front. It's kind of like wings, but if they were on your back instead of on your side, exactly like that. So imagine if you just had one singular wing coming out of your spine instead of, coming out of your arms.
It's like an accessory. It's like an accessory you can get installed at the, if you're buying a car. Well, it comes with this. It doesn't come with that. But you can add it later. Okay, I'll add that later. Let's get the car.
Yeah.
There's my sarcasm, by the way. All right.
Very
close to sarcasm.
A new accessory. Yeah, maybe the reptiles were. It was just a fashion trend. Imagine if a long time ago when people find our dead bodies and they find some jeans and I'm like, this is a really weird appendage these human beings are wearing. It's like, it was just jeans. They were just wearing jeans. or they discover, 50,000 years from now, they discover just one skeleton or one perfectly preserved like mummy, and he's got all kinds of piercings all over the place. Oh, yeah. It's like, this is what humans all did back in that. No, we didn't all. For some reason, they had metal growing out of their ears. How do they do that?
What is this? This is a ritual. It was a ritual. They believed in the sun god. Oh, okay. All right, let's go.
Roll our next segue for our next stories.
Pins and wheels. We're talking about Van Gogh, who died in this day.
Did you find anything for your mic drop?
I did. You want me to send it to you now? I'm going to have to open Facebook, and that takes a minute. So I'll just do it right after my story.
Okay.
Okay, so, yeah. I opened Facebook and sit there and look at a blank screen for 5 minutes. Oh, okay. So we'll see. This is from the Earth. The earthnewspaper.com. Van Gogh was not fantasizing. He was not fantasizing when he painted mountain landscapes with the two holes. This is by Martin Bailey. The asylum where Van Gogh lived in 1889 to 1890 is set among some of the most beautiful scenery of Provence, just beneath the Les Alpes, the Little Alps. Only 3 kilometers away is a soaring limestone crest known as the Rocher des Deux Trous, or the Rock of the Two Holes. It has a skull-like appearance, pierced with eye sockets. The larger hole is nearly 3 meters high. The smaller one is around half that. Van Gogh included the Deux Trous in a pair of his landscapes, but because of such an unexpected feature, has often been seized upon as evidence of the artist's fragile mental state. People are freaking
This dude's crazy. He just drew holes.
The mountain's been there all along, but we're going to pretend that he's crazy. The production of an overblown imagination. The Deux Trous features in the painting, which by chance both ended up in different New York collections. The olive trees at the Museum of Modern Art, and mountains at Saint-Rémy, or however you pronounce that, at the Solomon Guggenheim Museum. In both pictures, the bulkier summit on the right is Mont Gaussier. The olive tree was bequeathed to MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art, in 1998 by Mrs. John Hay Whitney. Mountains at Saint-Rémy had been donated to the Guggenheim by Justin Tannhauser in 1978. And we have... I don't know if you can probably find pictures of these. You can probably display them. I was looking at them myself, and there they are. It's a painting of that same mountain from 2 different angles. Van Gogh's olive tree, and blah, 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 blah. We're going to skip that. Picture caption. Both paintings were borrowed by London's National Gallery for its recent exhibition, Van Gogh, Poets and Lovers. And that will be shown. That showed from 14 September of 24 to January of this year. There they hung on adjacent walls in the final room, giving a very unusual opportunity to see them together. Van Gogh described the olive tree as grove with blue hills. It was probably painted in his studio at the asylum from memory, not from the motif. He would have known the scene well, since it represents a view from just a few minutes' walk from the asylum entrance on the southern outskirts of Saint-Rémy-de-Provence. Mountains at Saint-Rémy, painted a month later, was largely painted outdoors and is more topographically accurate. And it shows you a picture of the actual mountain here, and you can see those features. Van Gogh is certainly not the only artist to be struck by the Dutreux. 4 centuries ago, an anonymous artist boldly included a view of Saint Remy de Provence, exaggerated on its size. He might have just been closer. Hello? I'm just saying. He might have just been right there painting it. How do you know? He's anonymous. You don't know who painted it. Anyway.
It's almost like you can see different features from different perspectives. No way, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's almost like there's 3 dimensions you can see things from, right? Although Van Gogh never mentions the Dutreux in his letters, it's very likely that on a day when he was feeling well, he climbed up to sit in one of the holes and looked down on the St. Paul Massol, the former monastery turned asylum. St. Paul de Massol still survives as a modern hospital for patients with mental issues, and its church and cloister are open to visitors.
So an asylum, basically. But nicer. A nicer asylum.
a nice old gentle asylum. You're crazy just like Van Gogh. Did you know that? Well, hey, that's pretty cool. Anyway, a room has been reconstructed to give an idea of where Van Gogh would have slept. From St. Paul de Massol is a delightful 8-kilometer walk, or 2 to 3 hours, to the Dutreux is a height of 326 meters, and back again. Head westwards to the hospital and climb up the valley St. Clair. Then at the top, make a short detour to the Dutreux, where one can sit in the holes and look back at the hospital in the town of St. Remy de Provence. Return down via parallel valley Gogh de Valrouge. I'm sorry about her pronunciation. French isn't even my 9th language. Near the start and end of the walk, you will enjoy the olive groves, which inspired some of Van Gogh's finest landscapes. So you can go on a Van Gogh tour while you're there. Just sit around and look and go, wow, I think I know that from a Van Gogh painting. Awesome stuff. You have
pretty cool.
You have
a limerick.
Segue Limerick. How a Limerick?
In
Limerick,
the Alps,
as they call it in.
That's what they say in French. The Limerick. A limerick.
The Limerick. Yeah.
In the Alps, where the sunflowers sway, Van Gogh found his own light in the gray. With each brushstroke so bold, a new story he told. Not crazy, just vibrant in play. There you go. Sweet little Van Gogh.
All right.
Van Gogh.
Man, that deserves a round of applause. Sorry, I was doing something else. Hold on. Excellent.
Laughing at my limerick, how dare you?
You can't see, that's my speed. All right, next story.
Okay.
I'm suffering here, man. I'm sorry. The cruelty of old age. I was reading I might be diabetic, so that might be what the problem is.
You're just going on WebMD right now. You have cancer of the eyeball.
I'm not finding that funny because the doctor told me I was pre-diabetic, so I might not be pre-diabetic.
And then you were like,
anymore.
you know what? I'm going to eat this whole block of sugar and just make it final.
You just eat a pound of.
Oh, you think you have glaucoma? That's common with diabetes, getting glaucoma.
No, it's not glaucoma. I think it's whatever that spotty stuff that happens in your eyes and you get.
That's glaucoma, yeah. You have to go to eye doctor and have to blow air in your eye. That's how they find if you have glaucoma. That's why they do that weird eye test where they blow air in your eye.
There are other ailments, but I'm not going to get into it. Did you spin a wheel?
Oh wait, I thought you had another story.
Yes or no?
That was your last story?
No, that was it.
Okay. Then I will spin the wheel. Sorry, I thought you had another story, so I just went back to you.
Definitely not. I did send you a video though.
Okay. My next story, you have to do an associate. Associate this next culture segment. We're talking about cat videos. I'm sure you have plenty of those. Plenty of cat videos. I know I do.
Okay.
I mean, there's plenty enough on this freaking article. This is on The Guardian by... Is anybody write this article? It just doesn't say anything. It doesn't say who wrote it. It's just on The Guardian. On the culture. It's called On the
Interesting.
Past Notes by Past Notes, which is, I guess, a series they have on The Guardian. A quick chat designed to tell you everything you need to know about a story you don't need to know about. There you go. That's what it's from. But we do need to know about this, because cat videos are a very positive thing in the world, okay? Ever since 2016, Will Braden has devoted himself to assembling a feature-length film from snippets of Moggies doing the darndest things, and it started to bring in serious money. What is this about? Cat videos. How old are they? 131. Why is it appearing here? Because it's legitimate entertainment, goddammit. Hang on, cat videos are 131 years old? Clearly, you have never seen The Boxing Cats, a 20-second film of two cats wearing boxing gloves and brawling out inside a miniature ring. It was made by Thomas Edison Production Studio in 1894 and can be found in the Library of Congress. So what, you're saying is that humanity has progressed meaningfully in almost a century and a half? No, we're not saying that. There's something vital about the appeal of a cat video and the manner in which they have evolved with us. And then I'm going to show you, actually, this cat video shortly. I don't want to play the whole thing, because some of these videos are like a minute long. But let me go ahead and...
I'm not going to see it anyway.
No, well, you could see it if you're watching from a different angle. But, oh, actually, I don't know.
No, I just load down my computer.
Yeah, so we got a cat video here. The Boxing Cats from Thomas Edison Studios, and, well, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's some cats boxing. Though it does look like it's being recorded in like backwards and in slow speed to me. But there you go. Some cats boxing. Okay. Back to the article. But also, well, yes, humans have always been easily pleased idiots. Now that we've cleared that up, why are we talking about them today? Because Cat Video Fest 2025 is preparing to launch. That's right. What? A video fest? You keep your finger on the pulse, please. Every year since 2016, Will Braden has painstakingly assembled a compilation of online videos and public submissions into Cat Video Fest, a feature-length, theatrically released montage of cat videos. Seriously, is this a real thing? Not only is it a thing, but it's a wildly successful one at that. The 21 edition grossed just $94,000 at the box office, but last year's took more than $1 million. If the series continues to get 10 times more successful every 3 years, Cat Video Fest 36 will be the most successful movie of all time. Is it any good though?
Sport.
Sort of. Anyone who took their kids to see Cat Video Fest 24 will know the non-stop barrage of cat videos starts to drag after about 20 minutes. But boy, those opening 20 minutes were amazing. And then we've got a video of a thug cat knocking a glass off a table, which you've probably seen this a million times. A cat sees a glass, starts sliding it. The owner says, "Stop, no, no," and then the cat looks at you, knocks it off the floor, onto the floor, and just stares at you with just complete apathy. Feline destruction.
Cause and effect.
Yep.
Cat just doing an experiment and cause and effect.
Yeah.
That's all.
What sort of cat videos do the films contain? Oh, all the fan favorites. You can probably expect videos of cats sneaking up on people, cats knocking stuff off tables, and cats climbing up things. What about videos of cats using toilets? Ah, a classic of the genre. I didn't know. A classic of the genre. Yeah, cats using the toilet is definitely an experience. Of course, barely a day passes when nobody doesn't watch the cat walking on two legs. 2011 hit, right? Just cats walking on their back legs, just like human beings. That was one of the favorites of cat videos. This is not a discussion of how cinemas are learning to adapt new audiences during a time of industry-wide construction. Very intelligent. Almost all as intelligent as a cat who opened the door for its owner who forgot her keys. But what does this say about us as a society? Look, the world is a mess. Please just let us disassociate in front of some cat videos. Cat Video Fest will save us all. Don't say I can't be worse than the Smurfs, which we did talk about the Smurfs yesterday and how it was a complete box office slam. But Cat Video Fest, I guess if you want to disassociate from the Age of Stupidity. Join it by watching cat videos all day long and just laughing until you I guess fall asleep.
Right on.
Oh,
yeah, just
I
watch
still
cat
have it on
videos
cat
until oblivion.
videos.
You still watching cat videos?
All right.
At least you didn't have it on me. That would have been really boring. All right, so yeah, cat videos. Cat Video Fest. I'm sorry, is it my turn yet?
Yes, it is. You can speak.
Cat Video Fest. I can't wait till it turns into, say, Eurovision, right? Where they just get political all of a sudden. No! Hey, that cat is putting down Israel. He's a Persian cat. Get him! Get him! Get him! Anyway, there you go. There's your association.
The one thing about
cat
cats
is
is
an
nobody
actual-
cares where the cats are from. My favorite
Right.
cats are the
Unless it's a
Hitler
Persian
cats,
cat.
where people are like, this cat has a perfectly placed black spot right above its mouth.
Yeah, Hitler cat.
It's a Hitler cat.
And he probably acts like Hitler, too. You probably treat him like
so
Hitler,
crazy.
too, and he acts like it.
One
All right,
bad
this thing
guy
is
owns the
free.
mustache for the rest of history.
Yep, not even Charlie Chapman or anybody can reclaim the mustache.
Reclaim the mustache.
Michael Jordan, I remember he tried to grow that little Hitler mustache for a Nike commercial, and it lasted like a week.
Oh, I remember that.
Nike
I
had
remember
to
that
take the
too.
ad down.
That was crazy.
Yeah, it's like, why is Michael Jordan wearing a Hitler mustache? Is he thinking that he's gonna break that cool? You know, it didn't.
I
last.
wish that's what happened, but sadly, no, it did not.
No,
Maybe in 200
It
years.
wasn't the mustache itself.
200 years, we'll get it again because people have already forgotten about Hitler by then.
Too many years if we're still around. All right, this day in history. Did you spin the wheel for this day? I did send you a video, so this day in
Okay,
history is
I
having to do with
got a
my
haiku.
first story. Haikus.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, we'll be busy. You always get this on my segment, right? Segment 3, you always spin the.
I like it
long-
this way because there's so
the
much
long
stuff.
poetry part.
Saying one pun for like 15 things you say, it's way more fun to make 3 poems about 3 things you say.
Right.
For me.
Okay, let's roll. Spanish Armada. The great fleet sent by King Philip III of Spain invaded England. This is the first sighted off the English Lizard Point and Cornwall. We were just talking about Cornwall. Sorry, Cornwall. Having a
Cornwall!
giant octopus. Yep. Cornwall has a giant octopus, but in 1588, on this day, they had the Spanish Armada, which is a lot bigger than an octopus. 1805,
But not
French
as
political
intelligent.
scientist, historian Alex de Tocqueville, not as intelligent, ripping on the Spanish, are you? Who has been best known as a Democracy in America, 4 volumes, was born. So happy birthday to Alex de Tocqueville, who is a French guy who went to the United States and said, hey, let's check out what democracy is in 1835 to 1840. Pre-Civil War, as they called it, as we call it in America. We call it the, what do we call pre-Civil War? I forget what it's called. Think of it in a minute.
What we call a civil war?
It starts with pre-Civil War.
A revolutionary age? I don't know.
No! It starts with an A. 1936, the Arc de Triomphe, one of the largest triumphal arches in the world, was officially inaugurated in Paris. You still don't know?
I don't know where I just don't know what you're even asking, so
The pre-Civil War period, what it's called? I thought you would know it. I know it, but I just couldn't
everyone
think of
calls it a different thing depending on which country you are. So
Antebellum. That's what it's called. Antebellum. Anyway,
oh,
the antebellum period. 1958, Townsend Harris. Oh, sorry, we did the Arc de Triomphe. 1936, the Arc de Triomphe, one of the largest triumphal arches in the world, was officially inaugurated in Paris. We've been there, and we got yelled at by the cops. Remember that?
it's because it's copyrighted, so you can't post it on the internet.
Yeah, you can't film even a part of the Arc de Triomphe because somebody will come on and beat you over the head with a club. That's what you had to do. We had to hightail it out of there before the cops came back for the second round. The Arc de Triomphe is in case you don't know, it's in a roundabout. It's in the middle of a roundabout where traffic just circles it. Yeah. Anyway, 1858, Townsend Harris persuaded the Japanese to sign the Harris Treaty. Hey, you need this treaty. An agreement securing commercial and diplomatic privileges for United States and Japan. Wow, that's interesting as hell. 1872, Nathaniel P. Langhorne and James Stevenson made the first ascent of Grand Teton. We're just talking about mountains and pairs of things. Well, Grand Teton is a Teton range in Wyoming, of course. Tetons is the French word for... Anyway. Breastises.
Oh, okay.
1890. Dutch painter Vincent van Gogh. We're talking about, again, we're talking about mountains, and we're talking about Van Gogh on the same day. This is the day he died. One of the greatest post-impressionists died in Auvers-sur-Oise, France. I don't know how that's pronounced, but 2 days after shooting himself. Yeah, he had mental problems for sure. And he wasn't taken seriously for his art in his lifetime. Oh, you're crazy.
Yeah, it was due to his brother and his brother's wife.
If Van Gogh just knew how popular he was now, you know? 1905 is the year, and this day, Swedish economist statesman Dag Hammarskjöld or something was born. He was served as the second Secretary General of the United Nations and received the 1961 Nobel Peace Prize. Back when Nobel Peace Prize was just given out to people for being peaceful. 1913, Albania was formally recognized by the major European powers as an independent principality following the issuance of the Vlora Proclamation. So congratulations, Albania. You get to be a country now from 1913 on. 1954, the first part of J.R.R. Tolkien's fantasy epic, The Lord of the Rings, was published. Became a social-cultural phenomenon, was adapted into a series of blockbuster films. We know that part of it. But this is the day Lord of the Rings, 71 years ago today, it was published, the first book. 1957, the International Atomic Energy Agency was created, the IAEA. And they do a lot of snooping into your nuclear regulatory stuff because we don't want the whole world to become a big old poison thing. 1881, Prince Charles and I can't think. Prince Charles and Lady Diana, just reading is hard. Diana Spencer were married in St. Paul's Cathedral in London in 1981 on this day, so that was 44 years ago. Happy anniversary to the happy couple. And they're,
wait a minute.
They're not a happy couple. Okay. Yeah, they were never a happy couple, not even for 5 minutes. 2005, planetary scientists formally announced the discovery of what was believed to be the 10th planet. It was later designated a dwarf planet and given the name Eris. And
Eris.
We don't even have a ninth. We don't even have a ninth planet.
They were arguing that Eris could be the 9th planet, but.
In 2005, they said, yeah, actually, it's actually bigger than Pluto, and Pluto ain't a planet either. So, but Pluto's like, wait, I've been a planet all this time. Yeah. Right. 1958 on this day, NASA was established. Yeah, that's right. President Eisenhower established the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, criticized for allowing the Soviet Union to launch the first man-made satellite in orbit. Oh, reactionary nonsense. Yeah, we're reactionaries. We need shit in space too. President Dwight Eisenhower signed legislation this day in 1958 that created NASA. Yeah, because of Sputnik scared the shit out of everybody. Wait, they can launch satellites. They can launch nuclear weapons drop them on our heads. We're all gonna die. We gotta get a space program. Let's go. And yeah, America, reactionary nitwits since the beginning of time. All right, our feature biography, Benito Mussolini's birthday. Oh yeah, we got a little Duce dictator, born July 28th. Well, 29th, sorry. Blurry vision. 1883 in Predapio, Italy, and he died at the hands of a mob, April 28th, 1945.
Hanged in the town square like the fascist he is.
Well, he was displayed in the town square. I think he was just killed in private. But anyway, yeah. April 20th, and him and his mistress,
the pictures definitely show him being hanged. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, they hanged him
hanging from a rope with his wife or whatever.
Mistress. It was his mistress.
His mistress. I was going to say mistress, but I wasn't sure.
1945. He only got to be aged at 81, and he was killed in Dongo, Italy. The Italians really had enough of his shit. Other birthdays today: William Powell, American actor. Doesn't get a lot of press, but he's a very good actor. J.R.D. Tarta, Indian businessman, born in 1904. William Powell, born in 1892. Clara Bow, American silent movie actress, born in 1905. And Ken Burns, American director, who does all of those historic documentaries, and he does them in parts. He does real documentaries that totally cover as much as he possibly can. Ken Burns, happy birthday. Born in 1953, making him 72 today. And National Day calendar, it's only 3 things today: National Lipstick Day, National Chicken Wing Day, and National Lasagna Day. Get out there, Garfield, and get some lasagna. Kind of plays in with your cat videos, right? But that's your days. Your days, your spins of the wheel, everything for... Oops. For this day, 2029. July 29th, 2025, on before lasagna and chicken wings. There you go.
There we go. Great combo there. Of course, let me see if there's any international days today. There are not. No UN international days to celebrate today. Let me quickly get this video in here. It's just downloaded. Get it in for our mic drop moment.
No days today. We can play some music while we wait.
No, it's already done. It's a very quick thing to do.
My mandolin here.
It's very quick. Your mandolin. Now I can't hear it because of the noise cancellation. You gotta turn your Discord noise cancellation off, and then maybe we can hear.
You don't want to hear it anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway. Moving it.
Yes, time for my haikus. So, my first haiku is about NASA. Stars whisper secrets. Endless journey through the void. Dreams of Mars take flight.
Ooh.
Then my next one is about, well, this one will be easy. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy, guess. In shadows they tread. 9 hearts unite. Hope ignites. Middle Earth's path calls. My favorite series of all time. I watch those movies like 20 times a year. Multiple times a month.
No, Frodo.
And then, of course, crispy, sauce-kissed dreams, buffalo heat dances bright, finger-licked delight. Yeah, for our buffalo wings over here.
Wing day.
Woo! So, go look at the stars, watch some Lord of the Rings, and eat some chicken wings. Spicy hot chicken wings. I'm just pressing all the buttons.
So you did 3 things, Ed.
All right, this has been Allison here from the Netherlands, Roger from the East Coast of the U.S. As we tie up another Good Tues Newsday, I hope you've learned some good things that we've discovered and worked towards. Congratulations, Yellowstone, for getting trees. Who would have thought? Biodiversity, crazy stuff. And of course, the Netherlands for considering Israel a threat to national security. I agree. I think they are a threat to most people's national security if they just bomb people without any disregard. But we will end today's show. We'll see you tomorrow for Wacky and Weird Wednesday. We're going to find all the wacky and weird news you haven't heard about so that you can just be like, huh? The whole time. And I can't believe how ridiculous humans and animals and our world is. Earth is a crazy place. So make sure that you're subscribed. Turn on those notifications so you know when you go live and post a video. And here is our very educational mic drop moment.
In 1530, Henry VIII was King of England, and when his desires to father a son proved
our history of why the Spanish Armada is like,
to have more children, he asked the Pope for permission to divorce her so he could remarry, but the request
and the
was
Pope was not happy with
divorced
this.
her anyway, and the Act of Supremacy was passed. making him head of the Church of England, a Protestant form of Christianity. When Henry died, his 9-year-old son, Edward
not the
VI,
Catholic
became
Protestant
king, and
wheel.
the country became even more
That's
Protestant.
not good.
Edward
Wait,
died
this is
6
about
years
England.
later, and when his sister Mary, a Catholic, took the throne, she made the country Catholic again. She also
Oh
married
no,
Philip,
I'm
Bloody
getting
Mary.
a
confused.
Catholic nation. When Mary died, her sister
Are we eating
Elizabeth
fish on
became queen,
Fridays or
and
no?
England moved back
I don't
to being a
know.
Protestant country. Mary's widower Philip declared Elizabeth an illegitimate ruler.
The
and is
Church of
thought
England
to
is
have
a political
supported plots to
organization.
remove her
It's
from
not-
the throne.
Yeah.
In retaliation, Elizabeth supported the Dutch
So we're not
revolt
eating
against
fish.
Spain
Okay, we're
and
not
funded
eating fish on
privateers
Fridays. We
throughout
can eat it whenever we
Spanish
want.
ships. On the 9th of May, 1588,
I'm just making up
Philip
some
gave
Catholic
the order to
thing.
launch the Spanish Armada.
How
How
Over here,
fucking
fishing
dare
here.
you
30,000 Spanish
eat fish
soldiers
on a
in England.
Wednesday
English
night?
ships were
I'm
faster,
sending the
more
Spanish
maneuverable, and
Armada.
had better sailors.
I'm trying
They
to
chose
learn
to give the
something.
Spanish fleet distance, so little fighting took place. The Spanish commander should have been the highly experienced
It was just a big
Marquis of
bluff.
Santa Cruz, but he died in February and was replaced by Medina Sidonia, a soldier with no naval experience. The most famous English commander
no.
was Sir Francis Drake, and on the 7th
That's
of
it,
August,
we're gonna
while the
shoot
Spanish
you.
fleet
Francis
were moored
Drake?
in Calais, he sent fire ships.
Yes, he was
packed with
famous. One of the
inflammables, which
people
would
that
set
think
alight
people
amongst them, forcing them to cut their
say
moorings and flee
Elizabeth
into the night,
had sex
causing
with.
them to scatter. The English now
One of the
had
people
the
she was
upper
sleeping
hand
with,
as fighting
supposedly.
broke out in the Channel. Medina Sidonia decided the invasion wouldn't succeed and prepared to sail back home, but the route was blocked by English ships, which forced them to sail around the north of the islands, and the longer journey created food and water shortages. The Spanish
And here
found themselves in
comes
deeper waters
disaster.
where the already damaged fleet encountered stormy weather, which forced many
And then
ships
they're like,
back to
Take the
hey,
long
these
way
rocks
home.
sure
Although
look
very
fun.
few
Let's
ships were lost
have
in
some
battle,
fun with some
only around
rocks.
half of the Spanish ships made it.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.